I-10. I was headed west, and I'm taking exit 19. Quartzsite is really small with a population of 3,700 people, so there are only two exits, exit 19 and exit 17. First, I'm going to show you where I fill up my water for the season when I'm out here in Quartzsite, and it's right on Main Street here. There is a Chevron right off of the exit here, exit 19, as well as an Arco and a 1.9 fuel station. Over here to my left is the water station that I like to frequent. Now, I don't need to fill up water today, but I just wanted to show you guys here. So there are two sides of this water vending machine, and as you can see, there is a hose as well as an area for you to fill up your gallons. So it looks like the prices haven't changed, so you can still fill up a gallon for 25 cents, which is really good to see because prices have risen everywhere. So I'm going to take you guys down Main Street and talk a little bit about the area as I go. If you look on the map, Main Street, or Quartzsite, is really just a square, and it is surrounded by public land owned by the Bureau of Land Management, which is also known as BLM land. The main draw of Quartzsite is you can camp out here you can camp out here all year long for free if you want, but weather permitting, you can only camp out here for about 6 to 7 months because the summers do bring extreme heat. So we are going to traverse Main Street here, and I will point out some things to note. And if you don't know the story behind High Jolly and the Quartzsite camels, I highly recommend you look into it because it's kind of a fun historical story to just know about before you get to Quartzsite. So it looks like right now we are toward the end of October, but Quartzsite is still pretty quiet just from what I'm initially seeing. It's busiest in January and February, and January is generally the coldest month out in Quartzsite, where sometimes the weather can get down to about 55 degrees, but otherwise it's really shorts and t-shirt weather the entire time. So there is a Family Dollar on my right, as well as several RV parks on Main Street and surrounding areas. There's also Coyote Fresh on my right as well, and they have glacier water fill up, so you can fill up your water. And we're approaching another Chevron. There are lots of little family-owned places here in Quartzsite that offer showers, such as the Salon. And then on my right is Roadrunner Market, where I like to get my groceries. I just passed the Main Street Laundromat on my left, and that's where I like to shower, and most people like to do their laundry. We are approaching Central. If you take a right, you can go to High Jolly and Plamosa Road, and the 95 will take you all the way to Parker. It takes about 35 to 40 minutes to get there if you're driving the speed limit. If you take a left, the 95 South will take you to all of the long-term visitor areas, also known as LTVA, and Dome Rock, Scat and Wash, and Roadrunner BLM. Furthermore, you can take the 95 South all the way to Yuma. Now, there is not a Walmart or a major grocery store or gyms or any of those fancy amenities here in Quartzsite, so you do need to go to Parker or to Yuma if you need to take advantage. It looks like a lot of the vendors are setting up on my right to open up for the season, but they're not quite open yet. And on my left is Silly Al's Pizza, which is the only pizza joint in the area, and it's always super, super busy. again, there are some mobile home and RV parks here on Main Street. And again, it seems like some of the local vendors are not here for the season yet, but they'll be opening up over the next month. Typically November. I am here a little bit early for peak Quartzsite season in October, but the weather is so beautiful. There is a Love's here in Quartzsite. There's also a Pilot gas station, fuel station, and some other little paid campgrounds surrounding the area that you can take advantage of if you need electric hookups. Up on my left, there is a Dollar General, and up on my right is Ken's Discount Grocery. I'm not sure if it's going to be there this season. I'm assuming it is. And some of my favorite vendors are over here. It looks like Woodstock Firewood changed. Oh yeah, Ken's Grocery Outlet is there. And oh, it also looks like my favorite Mexican food truck will be there as well, but it doesn't look like it's open. Of course, there is a McDonald's. The McDonald's brings in a lot of transients, so there's often a lot of panhandlers there. And then the Flag Guy is open right next to McDonald's, which is always fun to see. There's also a Carl's Jr. and a Burger King if you're looking for some fast food. I do like to go to that McDonald's with Winston every now and then, I'm not gonna lie. There are a handful of restaurants here in Quartzsite, but really only a handful, and not all of them are super great, but you know, if you're looking to dine at a restaurant, there are some good ones. So this is literally the end of Main Street, and that's pretty much Quartzsite for you. But I'm going to head on over to the other side where the Love's is at and go through the area where the RV tent show takes place. I really like going to all the tent vendors every winter. Oh yeah, they also opened this new Terrible's on my right, this new gas station that actually opened this spring. Last time I was in Quartzsite was in April, so I've only been gone for about 6 months, and it really doesn't seem like a lot has changed. So this is the other exit, exit 17. Like I said, there's only 2 exits. And you saw the entire Main Street of Quartzsite. I drove the entire thing. So, I mean, literally it's, it's very small. Like I said, keep your expectations low, because if you're looking for something bougie, this is not it. But there's, you know, the community and the camaraderie brings the people out, as well as all of the free camping for as long as you want. And shorts and t-shirt weather, that's, you know, that with the free camping is really the biggest draw of Quartzsite. So up on my right is going to be the Love's fuel station. And then if you take a right, you can go over to Dome Rock, BLM land, which is a popular location, especially if you're looking for some beautiful mountain sunset views. But I am going to take a left here on Keene. Yes, that is how you pronounce it, Keene. And I'll drive around to show you, like I said, where the tent area is at. I really like going to the tents. They have so many really cool vendors throughout the entire season. Most of them close down by like March or mid-March. Right now we are driving parallel to the I-10 heading east. There are lots of off-road vehicles in the area, and you can't really avoid them no matter where you stay. Whether you're at an LTVA or a Bureau of Land Management land, you just can't avoid the off-road vehicles. So it's important to, you know, share and just share the road and just be cautious and aware of what's going on around you, especially if you have an off-leash dog like I do. Looks like they've been doing some sort of work over here, maybe. Okay, and so now we are at Tyson Wells, where all of the tent vendors come, and normally these parking lots are absolutely full and swamped with people. So this is the main market center. And it looks like some vendors might be set up, but not a lot. Everybody is still getting ready for the season. But I am so excited because I love coming here and shopping with Winston. Of course, it's dog friendly. So now we are back to Central, and I'm going to turn right. So going down here, you can go all the way to Yuma on the 95 South. And this will also take you to the LTVAs, which I will just briefly show you. Long-term visitor areas cost $40 for 2 weeks of camping, or $180 for 6 months. I do not prefer the LTVA situation because they bring in some really interesting characters. Last season there was a sex offender, and the sheriff's office had to come around and basically let all of us know, and they were handing out flyers because you can make an LTVA your residential address. So it brings in some questionable people, if you will. So I had some interesting run-ins with people at the LTVA last year, so it's just really not my preference, but they are nice if you have a full-size RV. Here are two of the LTVAs, La Posa North and La Posa West. Down here is also Roadrunner BLM as well as La Posa South. I know a lot of people that like to stay at La Posa South, but the cell service is really bad. And they do have vault toilets. They do have a dump station for RVs as well as dumpsters. They also have water fill up and potable water. So if you need those things, again, the LTVA is an option, but it's not my preferred. I'd rather be on just regular BLM land. The LTVAs get so packed during the winter. They're just really wall-to-wall people. So I will not be returning to an LTVA this winter at all. I have no plans. I stayed at one this last season for like a few days at a time because I was with friends, but there was just way too many people and way too much drama and way too many creepers for my liking. So we are going to be approaching La Posa South. It's very quiet around here right now. Like I said, it's kind of pre-Quartzsite season still, since it's only October. And everything's still pretty close to town, so it doesn't take a crazy drive. But La Posa Tyson Wash is to my right, and then this is La Posa South. There is also a nudist colony if you drive a couple, like 3 or 4, probably like 3 miles back into La Posa South. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I have seen it before and I have been there, but unless you want to be slightly blinded and see things that you don't want to see, I do not recommend going there. But this is the La Posa South entrance. I'm actually kind of surprised at the number of people that I see here already, but it literally gets to be like wall-to-wall RVs and vans and all sorts of people. And I also know that if you're in a minivan, you have to, or like a car, you have to camp within a certain distance of the vault toilets. So I just wanted to show you that briefly. I think I answered a lot of the questions on my tour that I've been getting from people, but to answer a few more, so some people have asked about crime. Crime has risen in Quartzsite since COVID, but I mean, isn't that like everywhere in America? So crime has risen, especially since it is a transient town. So there are a lot of people, homeless people and people just like traveling through the area. But the sheriff's office is located right off of Keene and Central, so they can really be anywhere in Quartzsite in like 5 minutes, even to the LTVAs and the different BLM land. So the rangers are also very active. Like I said, we had the sheriff's office swarm La Posa South last season because there was a sex offender staying literally like 1,000 feet from my camp. So they had to, by law, they had to hand out flyers and let everybody know that he was there and what his convictions were, which were really, really bad. So there was also somebody who left a note on a girl I was camping with, her van last season, that threatened to kill her, and that was at the LTVA. And there was also this guy like just going around to different camps saying that like the government was spraying neurotoxins in everybody's brain. So you get a lot of weirdness out here, but it is more prevalent at the LTVAs, which is why I am not going to stay there this season. Again, that's just my personal preference and from experience. So I'm not just talking crap. That is literally my experience. Some people asked how you find out about events. And honestly, in my experience, besides Facebook groups, because there are Facebook groups that exist for Quartzsite for Nomad season, I'm not a member of any of them, but really just talking to the locals, going to the vendors, going to the tents. Even when I bought my drum, I found out about different hippie drum circles. So talking to people in the area, again, especially the locals, is a great way to learn about events. So there are different places to shower in town, including the laundromat I showed you, and there's a salon that offers $5 showers, and of course you can go to Love's, so there's different options for that. There aren't showers at the LTVA, just vault toilets, but there is the drinking water there, the RV water there, as well as dumpsters. But there are also public dumpsters in town that you can dump your trash at. If you need groceries, groceries are limited. Again, Coyote Fresh, Family Dollar, Dollar General, Roadrunner Market, the gas stations. There is no Walmart or anything like that. So you have to make note of that. This is a very, very small town, but I love it. And if you are into beautiful sunsets and just the hippie nomad life and shorts and t-shirt weather for 6 months out of the year, then Quartzsite is definitely a place that you want to check out. If you don't want to be surrounded by a lot of people, I recommend going to the different BLM land and finding a good place by yourself. But if you want to be in a community of a ton of people and make a lot of friends, then I do recommend going to an LTVA. You just will encounter some different sorts of people there. So it's totally up to you what you want to do. But there is something for everybody out here, from car and tent campers to massive rigs. You can find it all. So I hope that you will join us out in Quartzsite, even if it's just to experience it for a week or something like that. It's something that everybody needs to check out. And I always have a blast, especially going to Schoolypalooza, which is outside Quartzsite in Ehrenberg, about 20 minutes west. That's a big, basically it's just like a bunch of hippies gathering for a week, and it's absolutely amazing. It's the best event, in my opinion, that happens out here in the winter, and you won't want to miss it. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and that I answered most of the questions, if not all of them. I tried my best. So thank you for tuning in. Of course, I have a lot more content coming for you now that Winston and I are in Quartzsite. So thank you again. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.